Okay, so let's talk about some general things about each of these 8 steps. And again, these are very, very general, and we'll spend some time on other DVDs talking about these in specific. But for right now tonight, let's just talk about some basics. So step 1, location. First thing you need to worry about is seasonal locations. You know, fish, regardless of what they are, basically have 3 things to do with their whole life. They have to worry about where they're going to get their next meal, when are they going to spawn, when and where are they going to spawn, and they've got to worry about not getting eaten until they get to a certain size. Most of their life is focused 100% on where's my next meal going to come. So you have to understand that other than the spawn time, and a little bit of time before and a little bit of time after to recover, all of a fish's life is one thing. Where's my food? Where's my food? Where's my food? Now, we know for a fact, and we've proven this over years and years and years, fish won't live in 30 feet of water and swim to 8 feet of water, feed, and then go back to 30. If the food is all in 8 feet of water, that's where the fish are going to be. So you need to understand what kind of bait fish live in the body of water you're fishing, how they move over the course of the year and during the day, and find out where the best bait choices are for the fish that are in your lake. If you pay attention to bait fish, you know, if you learn nothing about walleyes or largemouth bass or pike or muskie, you know nothing about them, but you understand what kind of bait fish lives in the body of water you're fishing and where it goes every day, you will catch a lot more game fish just by being where the bait fish are. We do a DVD in our foundation series called Bait Fish, something you might want to check out. Walks you through the life cycle and the seasonal cycle, about 11 different types of bait fish. Really important to understand the bait fish and what they do. Another thing to location, water color, water clarity. We know for a fact that walleyes won't hit a bait unless they can actually see it. So water color and water clarity becomes a big part of walleye fishing, not just to find fish, but to be able to find, remember, we're not looking for walleyes, we're looking for catchable walleyes. So water color and water clarity can be a big deal of this. Now, we make it pretty simple at Walleye 101. If you talk to any of our guys, we're going to break water color and water clarity into small pieces. So we have 3 different water colors. We have brown, green, and blue. That's all we deal with watercolor. Brown, green, or blue. And water clarity, we have 3 different clarities. We have clear, which means you look over the back of your boat, you can see your prop. We have stained, which means you look over the back of your boat, you can't see your prop, you can see the cavitation plate. And then we have dirty water, which means you can't see your cavitation plate. I'll make it pretty simple for you as far as watercolor goes. I have fished for walleyes from Fort Peck, Montana to the eastern end of Lake Erie, and from Lake of the Woods in northern Ontario to Bull Shoals, Arkansas. I have never fished a place for any fish, but specifically walleye, that your best fishing is not in green water. Look for green water. Stay out of the blue. There's not enough life in there. It's too cold. It's too clear. Stay out of the brown for walleyes. Most times brown water is too dirty. Fish aren't going to bite. Look for green water. And I like clear green or stained green. If I can find the perfect water, if I had to pick the perfect water, it would be a nice green tint where I could see my cavitation plate. I call that Erie perfect. That's what I look for on Lake Erie and any place else I fish. So stay out of the blue, stay out of the brown. Look for the green and look for where you can see your prop or your cavitation plate. That's going to help you with location. We're going to talk about how to do that. We have another seminar, another foundation DVD called Pattern Fishing. We talk about how to get that information and actually know where the good water is. Water temperature is important more so for where the fish are going to be, where are they at in their life cycle over the course of the season, and it definitely relates to bait fish. Where are the bait fish? What are they doing? Where are the fish going to be? Available cover, and again, available cover relates right back to bait. If you have good green weeds, you're going to have small perch. You're going to have shiners that are living inside the weeds. I'm going to tell you what, guys, in the middle of July and August, when it's 95 degrees outside, the surface temperature is 82 degrees, there are walleyes in 6, 7, 8 feet of water in the weeds. It's loaded with bait. There's fish there. Ask all the bass fishermen that catch them by accident, right? They're not smart enough to figure out they actually should have caught them anyway. But the walleyes will use the cover. So if you have cover, bait fish are going to use the cover, which means walleyes are going to use the cover. Fishing pressure sometimes will move fish and create a situation where they get away from certain spots. And then wind direction. Man, we do a whole summer on wind, waves, currents, subsurface currents. Something you really start needing to pay attention to, kind of more an advanced seminar. But wind direction can, again, push bait fish to certain parts of the lake, which will then bring the catchable fish. So that's some basic general things to look at before you go fishing and kind of get an idea of what the fish are going to do when you're out on the lake. So that's the location piece of it. And remember, walleyes are only going to be where their bait is. This is one fish. This is a Lake Erie fish full of shad, and that fish still ate a bait. So when fish are on bait and they're actively aggressively feeding, they don't care if they're too full. They don't care if your bait's too big, too small, wrong color. They're going to bite it if they're in an aggressive catchable mode. So look for catchable fish. You're going to catch a lot more fish by doing everything wrong presentation-wise if you're where there's fish that want to be caught.